Welcome back to another episode of Motogp Mac, and today we're going to talk about concessions. What are they? What do teams get, etc. Now, as we know, right now, Carlos Espinosa has come out and said that he really strongly favors that Honda and Yamaha get concessions to get them out of the deep shithole that they're in. And whether you agree with it or not is not really what we're going to be talking about today. What we're going to be talking about today is what are the concessions, and also how does a team lose their concessions. So let's just say, for instance, that Espinosa gets his way and the FIM agree to it, IERTA agree with it, and the teams agree to allow Honda and Yamaha these concessions. What are the current concessions for a new team joining MotoGP? So, firstly, they get to use 9 race engines per year rather than this limited to 7 engines. They can upgrade their engine at any point in time during the season. They can test at any circuit at any time with their MotoGP riders. They can have 6 wildcard entries instead of the normal 3. Now, there is a concession points system. So if you win a race, you score 3 points. If you finish second, you score 2 points. If you finish third, you score 1 point. But once a manufacturer reaches 6 points within 2 years, they will lose their concessions. Now, what does losing your concessions mean? So from the following season, you can only use 7 engines. From the following season, you must submit your engine at the start of the season, as it cannot be upgraded. As soon as you get to the 6 points, you can no longer test with your MotoGP riders other than in the official MotoGP tests. That's immediately they lose that. From the following season, you need to declare your test circuits, and you can only test with your test riders on those test circuits, unless it is an official MotoGP test. And then from the following season, you are only allowed those 3 wildcard entries. Now, here is where things got a little bit sketchy for me, because what I decided to do was look at Yamaha and Honda's results this year and Honda's and Yamaha's results for 2022. So let's be fair and call it 18 months of their results, not 2 years. And the results, in my view, are fairly stark and fairly frightening. So if I look at how many concession points Yamaha would have scored between 2022 and 2023, we have 19 points. And if we look at Honda, the concession points that they scored between 2022 and 2023, it's 6. So what this tells me is that the current system of concessions that they have, both teams would lose their concessions for the 2024 season. Now, it's not really about whether you agree with the concessions or whether you disagree with the concessions. But what the data is telling us is that even though Dorna, who's their promoter, have openly come out and said, we do not want more teams walking away from this championship, and this is their driver for it. Is it right? In my view, no, it's not. And in a lot of people's view, no, it's not. At the end of the day, this has to go through a formal process. The teams, IERTA, FIM, everyone has to agree to change this regulation. Dorna cannot change this regulation without their agreement. What the data tells me is that while Honda is on the lower side of it, every team is above the concession limit. And therefore, when they look at the concessions, I would think it won't be the concessions like this. I think it will be something like extra testing, extra this, extra that. So my view of that will be that it will be extra testing for everyone, or it will be more time or more wildcard riders, but everyone will benefit. But I would definitely love to know your thoughts. Looking back at the data where I've shown you that Honda is on 6 points, Yamaha is on 19 points, what way do you think, if these concessions do happen, they're going to work? Definitely leave your thoughts in the comments below, and I'll be back again tomorrow with another video.